So most would agree that the prequel Star Wars films were not that great.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
But I still like them despite their flaws. And most would also agree the best thing to come out of the prequels was the Clone Wars cartoons. The first one was amazing for its action, and the second one gave the flat prequel characters some depth. Except Obi-Wan. He was already perfect.
High ground!
We also got some pretty sick characters from the two. In the original we had Dirge, a bounty hunter who's kind of like a symbiote, and in the second series we got like 15,000 characters, among which was Embo, a Kyuzo bounty hunter with a hat that puts Oddjob to shame. He only showed up in a few episodes, but he quickly became a fan favorite. He's definitely crawled his way into my heart, and when I learned that Hasbro is very unlikely to ever make any Clone Wars characters into action figures again, I had to take it upon myself to make an action figure of him. So here he is, the only person who could wear a rice hat in space and still look cool. Embo here was made using a Marvel Legends Superior Spider-Man as a base, of which there is nothing left but the upper legs, which you can't see anyways, so I don't know why I mentioned it. His tunic was made from a stretchy lycra material, and the pauldron was made from a sheet of plastic. The straps were made from strips of leather. This neck bit was made from sugru, a sculptable rubber. This way it wouldn't hinder the neck articulation. And all of the other bits were done using toothpicks and some milliput for the rest. His accessories included some interchangeable hands, his bowcaster, hat, and an accessory that I will get into later. Two of the hands were from a Spider-Man Marvel Legends figures. I had to cut off one of the fingers on each one and extend the middle finger. Then I sculpted on the gloves, wrinkles, and fingernails. One pair was made for holding things, one pair was made in a dynamic pose that also can hold the hat, and one pair is relaxed and came from a Doctor Who silence figure. Then there was his bowcaster. This was made from a Clone Trooper's blaster carbine, flosser picks, and some random bits from my fodder drawer. Add some hinges that allowed it to open and collapse, and you have a bowcaster. This plastic bit was also added so that it could be stored on Embo's back. Now, Embo's hat was made from a Captain America shield, with these bits being sculpted on and these bits being made from plastic strips. Also, I put a magnet in the hat and the head. That way it could stay in place without having any pegs sticking out of the head. Also, he can do this. I don't know why, but there it is. Now for that last accessory. Embo's Anuba companion, Marok. Believe it or not, this guy was once a figure of Scooby-Doo, which came in this 2-pack, with none other than John Cena from the WWE Scooby-Doo movie. So Scooby was quickly eviscerated and had lots of articulation added to make him fully posable. Then he was completely sculpted over with none of Scooby left. After painting him gray, he was dry brushed white and had the stripes airbrushed on with the smaller details being hand painted. The paints used for both figures were Vallejo acrylics, Model Master acrylics, and Citadel paints by the Games Workshop. Embo's paint job was more complicated, from the hand-painted accents on his tunic, to the details on his face, to all the clothing pieces. Embo was a complicated piece to say the least. As for articulation on Embo, his head goes up this far, down that far, swivels from side to side of course. Then he has the standard joint on the shoulders that go all the way up, all the way down, forward and back. He has his bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which is really good, you really do need that for this guy. And then the swivel at the wrist with the hinges that go in and out. He has the ab crunch, of course, that goes this far forward this far back, and a waist swivel, which is slightly hindered by this, but I made sure that it was loose enough that you could turn him more than you would need. His legs still have the original articulation. They go all the way out, but they're hindered by the skirt. There wasn't really a way to get around that. They do go all the way forward, you just have to finagle it a bit. Upper thigh swivel. Still has the double jointed knee. And he has a wrist hinge which goes all the way down, slightly up, and of course the ankle pivot, which is always necessary. When it comes to height, I wanted Embo to be slightly taller than most Black Series figures, because the wiki claims him to be 1.99 meters, or 6.5 feet. I don't know how the wiki got this info. So Embo stands right at 6.25 inches tall to the top of his hat, or about 16 centimeters. And as you can see, Embo and Merrick stand tall next to their bounty hunting companions. There's a Dog and Beth joke in there somewhere, but I'm not gonna find it. I'm glad we had this little chat. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I guess you enjoyed it. What do you want, a cookie? If you want to follow me somewhere, I've got a Tumblr. I'll probably link that below. I draw things sometimes. If you like drawings, maybe you like that. Who knows? Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mom, tell your kids. I told my kids. They're gone. Also got a MySpace. You can follow me there if you want. Follow me on MySpace. You kidding me? Nobody's got a MySpace? What is this, 2001? Now that's comedy.